Lincoln's Husker Radio, 1400 AM and 94.5 FM. KLIN presents Meet Your Huskers, brought to you by Security First Bank.
And it's time for another edition of Meet Your Huskers. Today we're getting to know forward Kurkowski, obviously a Nebraska kid coming here to walk on. What kind of made you decide to go the walk-on route? I mean, were you looking at going to other schools, or was it pretty much Nebraska and that was set and dry at that point?
No, actually I was, my biggest consideration was a junior college in Wyoming that had offered me, and they have big ties they had at that time big ties with Nebraska through one of the assistant coaches. But so I guess Nebraska was kind of in my future anyway. But I was offered a Regent scholarship here in the spring of my senior year, so I figured maybe better take the money there and go the walk-on route, and it's worked out just fine so far, and I've been enjoying it. So I wouldn't have changed that decision looking back at all. So
speaking of that, as a pretty good student majoring in agricultural engineering, I mean, what's a typical night of say classwork for you? I mean, you gotta get all the basketball in there obviously too, but trying to balance the studies in there, I'm sure that probably makes for some pretty late nights, huh?
Yeah, it does. And I'm not what you would call the ultimate student. I don't prioritize my time very well. I still don't have that part of college figured out, and I don't know if I ever will. But
it's not easy.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, if I put off an assignment, it could end up being 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning before I get done, and I try to avoid too many of those because obviously that affects classes and basketball for a couple days after that. But yeah, if I'm not careful, it can get a little hectic. So.
Growing up playing basketball in the front yard or wherever you were playing, what were always like some of the players that you grew up emulating, wanting to patent your game after a little bit?
The biggest one, and I didn't even learn about him until I was, I think, in junior high, but a guy actually graduated from Grant High School in 1982, Bill Jackman. He was probably the biggest one, and he was an unbelievable basketball player. Went to Duke for a year and then came back and played here for the Huskers for the rest of his career. But that was the one that I really wanted to be like, and probably not quite to his level yet, but we'll continue to work on it.
There's time.
Yeah.
So if you've got, this kid who grew up in western part of Nebraska out there, I mean, where were some of the typical like family vacations and things like that you were going to? I mean, obviously you were closer to, parts out west, maybe, Denver, that type of stuff. But where was always a good family vacation spot that you guys went to?
We're kind of old school, and we in our extended family through my mom's side, we do a lot of like camping and stuff, or we used to before all the kids were, my age and so busy. But we'd go to like Fort Robinson, I think it's south of Kearney, and we'd go up into Wyoming and camp with mom's side of the family. And so that was usually what our vacation looked like in the summer. We didn't make long, lengthy trips. That wasn't, having 6 kids in the family, that can be kind of a pain and get awful expensive. So we kind of did it the old-fashioned way.
So I have to ask every basketball guy this, Kobe, LeBron, who's your guy if you got to take one?
This year, definitely LeBron.
Yeah, Kobe's not doing so well, so.
Yeah, I mean, they'll probably get it figured out, but as of right now, I'd have to go with LeBron. The Lakers are just having a tough season, and Kobe's getting to that age where he's maybe in his prime. I'd probably pick him. He's a tenacious basketball player, and he's a fighter, and that's something to admire. But right now, I'd have to go with LeBron.
Well, thanks for joining us here on Meet Your Huskers, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Ready to go green? Security First Bank is spreading green all over with Security Green Checking. Get your green on with Security Green Free Checking with interest. Security First Bank, member FDIC.